Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Northern Block Podcast. It is Sunday, July 13th, 2025. I am your host here at Northern 97, joined by my other host, LeBlock James. LeBlock, how are we doing?
It's been too long. It's been way too long.
It's been too long. We're going to start off with that. In general, and I said this on the Nordcast, I have generally not been putting out a lot of podcast content just because I've been very busy with work and the transition over from high school to college. I haven't gone to college yet. It's obviously still July, but figuring out all the paperwork and stuff, and I've just been working like crazy, like my actual job. I had to beat the unemployment allegation somehow to kind of like help me get some money under my feet and also start off paying the college loans. I'm in a good spot right now. If there's anybody that's wondering that, I'm not going to say exactly where I am, but I'm definitely in a better spot than a lot of other people because of what I've been doing. But as a result, it's been taking away from this a little bit. So I want to apologize for that. LeBlock's been also doing some stuff as well, working on his life.
We've been working a lot. We've been just having some fun on the side. But how are we doing? Send money. PayPal in the description. In the description, just send money.
PayPal is in the description, so I want to just put that out there. Hey, fun fact! You know how our good TikTok friend TKD Max BJJ is currently at Coldplay?
Yes.
Guess who else is there?
Who else is there?
Arbor Jack Guy.
No shot. There's no.
I'm not kidding. It's on his Instagram story. Yeah, I thought that'd be funny to mention. Yeah, shout out to TKD Max BJJ. I thought that was pretty funny. Anywho, let's get into what we're going to talk about here today. So, starting off, free agency, the offseason, all that stuff. We are going to be going through literally everything because we haven't been making episodes. So, we are going to do an off-season tier list, and that is going to be how we kind of review this off-season as a whole this year. So, we got A, B, C, D, F, which is obviously, school grades, letter grades, I guess you could say. So, like, A and B are, like, the good and great off seasons. And those are the teams that, in our opinion, like, we think by our expectations, they exceeded them, the team improved, or they just had a good off season all in all. C is a little bit more like, they didn't really do a ton, but maybe the expectation wasn't for them to do a ton, and that's okay, or they just had a middling off season in a way.
C is like, it's all right. Like,
C's all right. It's average.
Yeah.
It's always average. And then D and F, I don't really think I need to explain it. It's bad off seasons. The team got worse, whether it's in the short term or the long term.
Bad contracts too. Any team that signed really, really brutal contracts for agency might probably end up there as well.
Exactly. We're not going to really let the draft impact it that much. It does matter. We're not going to say that it doesn't matter. The draft, of course, does matter. Like, if you had a good draft, that will impact your offseason grade. But it doesn't mean a ton because nothing's really... I mean, again, like, you could actually say that nothing's really been impacted from this either. But the draft usually isn't an immediate impact. Like, maybe the only player that comes out of this draft right away is Matthew Schaefer. That might be the only person who comes out right away.
Maybe Misa.
Maybe. But again, like, there's no immediate impact. The guys we're going to talk about here will have, for the most part, immediate impact. So let's just get started here. This is going to be a little bit of a longer episode, and we're ready to hop right into it. Starting off here with the Anaheim Ducks. Some of the notable ads that they acquired: Chris Kreider, Ryan Poehling, and I believe there's somebody else that I'm forgetting. Brandon as well. Notable departures: John Gibson and Trevor Zegras were the two that really kind of stood out to me. They also made some interesting contracts, bringing in Peter Mrazek to be the backup goaltender, signing Ville Husso to like a $2 million deal to be their third string. That I found really strange. But anyways.
And like, I won't say draft-wise, they got McQueen at 10, which I really like that pick. So
yeah, I like that pick. I think I think that was a good. I think they had a decent draft. I looked at some of their prospects. I'm starting to do the prospect pool overviews on the YouTube channel. Just looking through their prospects they picked. They had a good draft. I think they did a solid job.
And
so,
in terms of like trades and signings, like I'm not in love with the Mikael Granlund contract.
No, but at the same time, I mean, the market wasn't that great as it is for centers and just guys of that impact. I feel like maybe their hands, I don't want to say their hands got tied because they could have just not offered him $7 million for 3 years, but maybe that's just the way the market was this year. Players getting really high paid. I don't know. You can kind of take that what you will. I think the Ducks, they're in the B and C tier range. Like, I don't think like I do think they improved. I think people are going to be shocked by hearing that. I do think they improved.
I think they improved as well. I want to say low B, like low B, high C.
Yeah, they're a lower end team there in the Bs, in my opinion. But I think they should be a B, to be honest with you.
I mean, talent wise, they got a lot better up front. Losing Trevor Zegras, who I'll be honest, it wasn't working anymore in Anaheim.
No, it just wasn't working.
And I think you need to change the scenery, bring in guys like Chris Kreider, Mikael Granlund, even we lost Gibson, but Dawson's ready to take the next step. Mrazek is a good backup. I think it's a perfect situation for the Ducks to maybe contend for that wild card spot next year.
Yeah, I mean, Pat Verbeek said the expectation was to make the playoffs, and when I suggested that on TikTok yesterday or a couple days ago, people called me crazy. I'm a little bit shocked by that. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I think that it's not like, oh, they're 100% going to make it next year. I wasn't saying that, but they should be in the conversation. Like, people think they're going to get worse, and I get it too. They also hired Joel Quenneville. We're kind of forgetting about that a little bit too.
Kind of forget Joel Quinn was a pretty good coach.
Yeah, Quenneville, while he has his controversies because of the whole thing that happened in Chicago, on paper, what he did as a coach was very good. Like, in terms of the team winning and Stanley Cup and awards and just his overall record, it's all very good. This guy has a very good track record almost anywhere he's been, whether it's in the juniors or in the NHL. So, I mean, I don't think they had like a stellar offseason, but I think it was still a good offseason. And it's one of the more underrated offseasons, in my opinion. So, I'll leave it at that. Boston Bruins up next. Here's some of the notable ads that came in. Victor Arvidsson, Tanner Jeannot. They also drafted James Higgins. Some of the notable departures, or Sean Corrali was a rival as well. Departures, they're escaping my mind right now. They lost. Do you have an idea who they lost? They didn't lose it.
I'm trying to think right now, and I cannot tell you.
Why am I blanking so hard? Anyway, honestly, I think this Bruins offseason, I think it's a little bit polarizing. I think this team's going to be worse next year, in my opinion. I just think the way I look at them, they're not going to be as good.
I'm going to say it right now. Throw it away. Like, I don't want to be mean, but I think they want to get younger. And I get that, and I feel like the guys they brought in, the Jeannot contract, what the hell is that?
Yeah, the Jeannot, the Arvidsson one, I see the vision because he's in the last year of that deal. It's not a huge risk. You can kind of just move on from him anyways. But the Jeannot one, I was just like, what the hell are we doing? I mean, he feels like a Boston Bruin, but like I thought we were past signing the big guys for size and the fighters and the quote unquote scores. Like this guy, like if he had some sort of offense to him, maybe it makes sense. But 4 years for like a career high 30-point scorer, like,
every GM thinks they can get rookie Jeannot back, but that's not coming back. I'm sorry.
I don't think that's coming back. Unless he has a splurge.
Wasn't great on Tampa. He wasn't great on LA either. I just don't get. I get for size. The length of contract is too much. The money is too much. The key departures are Jacob Lauko and Parker Wotherspoon.
Yeah, so nobody really big there. This team more or less stays the same, just a couple of guys thrown in. I'm very you say they want to get younger, but then they sign these guys to contracts that are going to play over a guy like Fabian Liesel or
Frazier,
whoever else.
but like here's what I see. Frazier, Midden, and Lysell should play themselves onto the roster. Like,
that's true.
This forward core is the weakest it's ever been, at least for
that's the other
decade. I'm gonna be very blunt here, but it's an F. Like,
really,
they didn't like. They went out and they made the team. I'm not gonna lie, they made the team kind of worse.
Maybe that was their goal. I mean, like, I don't think they made things much better. I do want to say this, and this doesn't involve like the overall offseason. I think this team can change a lot depending on how Jeremy Swayman plays next year. I'll agree with the F, but I don't know. Like, I feel like if Swayman can bounce back, it may not.
I think Swayman will bounce back. This is not a playoff team, though, on paper. And then Marco Sturm, they hired a coach. He's a rookie head coach. I don't hate the hire, but it's usually first-time head coaches have a hard time adjusting.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know what to think, honestly, about Boston. Just some very head-scratching moves. Mm-hmm. Kind of the same for Buffalo. Buffalo feels like they're in the same light a little bit. Just with some of the moves that they made, I was very confused. Notable arrivals, Michael Kesselring and Josh Doan, as well as that, too. They also got Connor Timmins, Isaac Beliveau. Just looking at some of their picks they made here.
Alex Lyon.
Yeah, they got Alex Lyon from free agency. Danforth as well from a Reading Royal. I'm trying to think. And I think that's about it, just like in terms of their offseason. They really didn't do a ton. It's very disappointing to see Peterka go for that return. And I think that's why it's going to really impact my grade here. But I will say this. I feel like a guy in Michael Kesselring or a guy in Josh Doan is somebody that Buffalo kind of needs more. It's kind of like what I said about Anaheim. Like, the players that they got in the Zegras trade and like a couple other guys as well, I feel like they were kind of players that they needed more than the star guy, if that kind of makes sense. I'm not saying that makes their grade better because you still could have gotten more for Peterka than just those two players. You literally could have gotten like maybe even a first-round pick from Utah along with those two players or more than that in exchange for Peterka. Because we saw the market, like Marco Rossi was being offered for this guy. It's very weird.
Kevin Adams is a different type of GM. Like, he really doesn't care about draft picks, which is really weird for a team that isn't good.
I understand why they don't.
I get it because they've done it for so long and it hasn't worked. Trading Peterka, he's 23 years old, but I think Peterka made it very clear he was not coming back. Like,
yeah, I don't think he wanted to come back. I think he said, like, no, I don't want to come back to this team. So, yeah.
Josh Doan can be. I think he could be a good middle sixer for Buffalo if he's in the right situation. Kesselring is what they need, though. They need a good right shot defenseman. And then the other departures, like they lost Clifton, they traded him to the Penguins. Sam Lafferty was traded to the Blackhawks, and then they did not qualify Jacob Bernard-Docker.
Yeah. So where's JBD now? Is he still a free agent?
He is with the Red Wings.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. Yeah, it's weird. There's some players that are free agents that I'm shocked still are, to be honest with you. Like, I think Roslovic's still a free agent. I was like, wow.
Yep.
Okay. Anywho, going back to Buffalo, like, I feel like the team got worse. I get why they made the Peterka trade, though. I guess in a way, I'm leaning towards a D, but like I'm not like. I mean, again, like I'm upset about the way they traded Peterka, but like I feel like a guy like Kesselring will be more useful to him than another young top six scorer like Peterka. It's kind of like how Paling, I feel like, might be more useful to Anaheim than Zegras would be. If that makes sense.
Kesselring should be a good partner for Owen Power on that second pairing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a D though.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going D as well. So I agree with that.
Because you can't. I'm sorry. There's no way you can convince me that there weren't better hours for JD Peterka.
Yes, there was and that's why they're in D. I really just looking at the offers we saw. There were upwards. I saw Marco Rossi was being offered for Paterka, and that would have been insane for Buffalo if they were able to get him, because I think he's better than Paterka, just in my honest opinion. It's crazy that that's why, and that's why my grade is so much lower on them because of that.
And there's rumors about teams offering 2 first-round picks for Paterka, and then this is the return. Like, it's all what you've heard from insiders, and like I say, like at least like 80% of the time they're usually on the money.
Yeah, honestly, I think they're right about this. Like, it feels like a thing Buffalo would do. You definitely could have gotten more than that for them. I was in shock when that trade happened, and like again, like the extension came with it. The extension came with the trade.
Mm-hmm.
That's if it was a like, oh, they traded his rights, then it still would have been a little bit crazy, but it still would have made sense. It would have made a little bit more sense. He got extended with it too. It was very weird. Calgary, LeBlanc. Calgary did a whole lot of nothing. I'm just going to be blunt with you. The only notable acquisition they brought in was Ivan Prosvetov. That's it.
That's it?
In terms of notable players, they drafted Cole Reshny, which I think is going to be a good pick.
Great.
But in terms of anything else, they didn't really do anything.
Yeah, they lost Vladar, they lost Rooney, they lost Manfa. I'll be honest, Manfa tore his ACL like 12 games into the season. That's not really a big loss. Rooney, he's an AHL first line, get forward. Vladar going to Philly gives Dustin Wolf the crease back. But I have no idea who Calgary's backup is now.
It's Prosvetov. It's Ivan Prosvetov.
It's Prosvetov. So,
yep.
Like, I'm looking at the lineup right now. I have a printed lineup on my screen right now. It's literally the exact same lineup as last season.
Yeah,
minus Dan Vladar.
Minus Vladar, it's the same team. So, I mean, you gotta go see. Like, they didn't really do a lot. I don't. And here's the thing, though. I didn't really expect that.
I didn't expect Calgary to do anything. I'll be honest. So, but I think getting Cole Reshny and Cullen Potter in the first round, that's great. So I feel like C is probably the best spot for them. I know we said the draft shouldn't matter, but Cullen Potter and Reshny should be good for them. But high C for Calgary for sure.
Honestly, I think they're really trying to build the team through the draft and the youth. Like, they got so many young guys coming up. Like, what is the point of really, going down the road of signing a big guy to a contract when you could give it for the young players or whatever? And I get that, but still.
And Calgary's in like a spot where it's like they're not bad enough to be a lottery, like to contend for the first overall pick, but they're not good enough to make the playoffs.
They need to have like an Islanders type situation happen to them. They need to get like lucky and get the first overall pick or something.
Right now, Calgary, only time Calgary attracts free agents is when Calgary's good. Calgary hasn't been consistently good since, I want to say, the 80s.
Consistently good? You're probably right.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more recent than that. But
like Calgary's a great city. I love Calgary when I went. But Calgary's in a spot where it's like build through the draft. Small market teams like Calgary need to build through the draft. And that's I trust Craig Conroy. He's done a great job drafting so far.
Agreed.
And I just think doing nothing was the best thing he could have done.
Yeah. So I'm not mad at really what he did. Carolina made some moves for sure. They signed Nikolai Ehlers to a contract. They acquired K'Andre Miller for a crazy return. They also got Caden Primo. Wow, I did not know that. Interesting. Just looking through some of their trades. Nothing really notable there in terms of trades. I know they signed a couple players. They let go of a few as well. Jack Roslovic's no longer there. Scott Morrow was traded to. Orlov's gone, which is very good. That's very good.
Burns gone. They traded away Scott Morrow, which I do not agree with that at all.
Yeah, we got to talk about that K'Andre Miller trade. I got to be blunt. Like, I think Miller will be better in Carolina than he was with the Rangers. Just that system that Carolina has, I think he will be better. You're telling me you gave up a first and a second and Scott Morrow for this year's Keandre Miller. He has regressed to such a low value. And it makes the Trevor Zegras trade look like robbery for Philadelphia if that's the case. Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
First of all, I want to say this very bluntly. How you gonna let Chris Drury treat you like that?
How you gonna let Chris Drury do that to you?
They put a video out of them acquiring Miller and them saying all this stuff about him, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, we'll just throw in Scott Morrow." I'm like, you know that meme from Interstellar? No.
Oh yeah, yep.
It feels like that. But here's the thing about Carolina: they did the same thing with Brady Shea. They got Shea from the Rangers. And they rehabilitated him under that system. And I think Condre Miller and Brady Shea, at that point in their careers, are very similar players. And I feel like Condre Miller will be better in Carolina. I'm begging on a bounce back. But this year's Condre Miller was not it.
Yeah, I agree. So I think, again, he's going to be better, but I don't know. Again, I do like the Ehlers signing. We shouldn't be all negative with them. I like the Ehlers signing a lot. I think getting him, it's gonna make the offense a lot better. Like him, Aho, Jarvis, it makes the top six look very good.
Yeah,
so I'm excited about that.
Let's be honest, the Ehlers signing was the most obvious thing on planet Earth.
Oh, it was pretty obvious that was going to happen.
Draft wise, they didn't they didn't pick until the second round.
They had that guy like the third last pick that was getting a lot of talk. I forget his name. Let me go look it up real quick. They had that one guy that they drafted who said like he had a lot of upside to be a really talented player. So let's go to round 7 real quick. It was Philip Ekberg.
Yeah, Ekberg was a late pick. He slid a lot.
Yeah, he was the 4th last pick in the draft. It's kind of wild, honestly. But anyhow, yeah.
For Carolina, I want to say B, but I want to make it a low B.
I think B is fair. The only thing that's keeping me from putting them in A is the Miller trade. Like, I think Miller's going to be a good player for them, but that return, that what they gave up is just insane.
Yeah, it's what they gave up. And I'll be honest, stop giving the Rangers ammo.
Yeah, we need to stop giving the Rangers what they want.
Here's the thing. I don't have any beef, but stop giving the Rangers ammo to do something. Because guess what? They will fucking do it.
Literally, they will. Agreed. All right. Chicago is the next team that is up on the list. Chicago made some moves. They drafted Anton Frondell. That's the most notable one, I'd say. In terms of trades, they acquired Sam Lafferty, who I feel like was a Blackhawk already.
He was?
Yes, okay, so I'm not losing my mind there with that. They acquired Andre Burakovsky in exchange for Veleno, so they took on some cap space there. Burakovsky immediately makes that top 6 just slightly better for the Blackhawks. In terms of signings that the Hawks made, as I slowly pull it up here, they re-signed Donato. That's one thing they did. They brought in Tony Nato, and I think that's actually about it. So just looking at the...
Davidson said he wasn't going to... He wanted to get more youth in the lineup. He wasn't going to make a big signing, which, I'll be honest, that this year's probably the wrong year to do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
In a year where it's a weak market, you tell me you didn't even offer a contract to Ehlers.
That's kind of wild. I don't know about that. I mean, I don't really know like if they wanted him to stay.
No, sorry. No, there was Freeman said that they offered a contract and Ehlers said, "Nah, I'm good."
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
I forgot about that. But the fact that they didn't do anything to address... I mean, it was a weak market. I'll read that again. It's a weak market. But you couldn't get anybody.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
it feels weird because like they do have a couple of guys coming up in the system that I think could be good. Like Rinzel, Oliver Moore. Frondell's not going to be there next year, though.
Frondell should stay in Europe, I think.
Yeah, he'll be in Europe for a year and then come probably to the A. But I don't know. I think Chicago, I think they definitely got a little bit better. Like the Burakovsky's going to help. I just think like the youth is really what is going to impact it. But overall, they didn't do a ton.
Say this right now. I know why they didn't go for it. You're telling me you want to start being good the year Gavin McKenna gets drafted?
That's true. You got a good point. So
I mean, like I think Chicago's still going to be the worst team in that division next year. Chicago should be bad. Chicago wants to be bad, and I feel like that's what their point is. Chicago, for me, it's a C. Like, they didn't do anything that was, like, shockingly bad. They got Burakovsky, which is a decent upgrade over Joe Veleno. So it's a C.
I agree. I think, again, just like the Blackhawks really didn't need to do a whole lot. I think they just want the youth. Again, as you said, they want the youth to come into the lineup. It was a weak market. Totally understand that. I'm not too mad at them not really doing much of anything, to be honest with you. Colorado coming up next year. So we got a couple of things to talk about here with Colorado. First and foremost, they made some trades. They acquired Gavin Brindley in exchange for Charlie Coyle and Miles Wood, clearing some cap space, which we thought it might be something. I feel like maybe they're clearing that money for a Cale Makar extension at some point, possibly. They really didn't do a lot in terms of like signings. They brought in Alex Bear-Boulette. They brought in Brent Burns. They also signed Ronnie Attard. They re-signed Josh Manson to 2-year, $3.95, but that's about it, to be honest with you. I think that's it's. I think the team is honestly like kind of the same. Not gonna lie, like Burns isn't gonna make a huge impact. He kind of feels like another Eric Johnson to me.
They brought back Brogdon, which is the big thing they really needed to do, and that was good for them.
Yeah,
but you lost some depth. You bring in Brindley. Brindley should crack that lineup.
Maybe it was like a third or fourth line guy. I wonder. At this stage, he should be getting close to NHL already. So I don't know. I feel like there wasn't really a massive expectation for them to really do much of anything. They have their core. I mean, you maybe could have wanted something, but they really didn't lose anybody substantial, but they also didn't really gain anybody substantial. You know what that screams to me? C. That's what it screams to me.
They did what they had to do. They got money, and now here's the thing: at the deadline, they're gonna have some money. They're gonna have some money.
They are gonna have some money, and I think that's a big thing that matters.
Here's my thing: you couldn't clear that money for Rantanen.
That's the weird. Yeah, that's just so weird to me. Whatever.
But but it's Makar's money now.
Pretty much. So I agree. Do you agree with C?
Yeah, I think C's good. I would put them above both Calgary and Chicago, though.
Yeah, I was going to do that anyways. I just think it looks better to do it that way. Columbus Blue Jackets. So they are now on the opposing side of the Brindley and Wood trade. They brought in Coyle and Miles Wood for Brindley, a third and a second. They also acquired or traded away Danil Tarasov for picks as well. They made minor league trades. In terms of signings, they didn't do a ton unless if I'm blanking. They re-signed Wolkoff, re-signed Sillinger. They signed Isaac Lundestrom. They re-signed Ivan Provorov, re-signed Fabro. Yeah, I didn't really do a whole lot besides that. They didn't do a ton this offseason.
I'm not going to lie to you. Very underwhelming.
Okay. It is underwhelming. I don't
think... The draft, though, they got Jackson Smith, and they got... Who was the guy they drafted at 20th? I'm blanking.
Oh, Antropanoff.
Yes, the goaltender.
The goalie. I think he's going to be good as well. I'm very excited.
Draft, I think they had a really good draft. I think that, but for agency-wise, and giving up Brindley for 2 bad contracts...
Players that will be okay for them, but they're like 2 of the same players.
These are the trades that we said. That trade, and I want you to have an open mind when I say this.
Okay.
You can't tell me that's not. That's not Jarmo Kekalainen in a mask, in a Don Waddell mask, making that trade.
That does kind of feel like a Kekalainen trade. I'm going to agree. Do you think? I got to ask you this, and I know this might be too early for this. Do you think that last year was a little bit of an overperforming year for them?
I don't like to speak ill of things that have happened. I think the momentum from what happened in last August with Johnny Gaudreau. I think that might have played an impact on their season. I feel like
it's going to play an impact for a long time.
Their players did take a step, though. Their young guys took steps forward. I feel like they did overachieve. I don't expect next year. I think they'll be in the race. I still don't think they're a playoff team, though.
No, but they're building something there.
They are building something. I like what they're building. They got good process in the system. They got Kent Johnson, Adam Fantilli, Renski, I'll be honest, should have won the Norris, in my opinion. But
yeah, I agree. But whatever, give it to Makar. Who cares?
I want to argue D here. I'm not gonna lie.
I really think like if they did anything else, I could put them in C. But just the trade, that trade, just like it doesn't. I don't like it, and they really didn't do a whole lot besides that. They re-signed their players, which you can argue that's like overpays and stuff. I think the Provorov deal is crazy, but anyways, I think like if they did anything else that was positive, they could be in C. But that trade just really brings it down for me, so I'm going with D.
Yeah, and
they were better than Buffalo, though.
Yeah, I would say this is Brinley's first year in the AHL, and his first year in the AHL, he had 17 points in 52 games. I think it's really kind of tough to give up on a guy 1 year into his pro career.
Yeah, for what you got back, it's very, very weird. Dallas up next. Dallas actually did a good amount, and they've been doing a lot over the last couple of weeks. They just traded Matt Dumba the other day to the Penguins for cap relief. They re-signed Matt Duchene. They re-signed Maverick Bourque. They traded away Mason Marchment. Apart from that, there hasn't been a ton of things they've done. They didn't really sign anybody that was notable. I'm going to actually pull it up here before I say that.
They lost Granlund. They lost CC.
Yeah, they didn't sign anybody notable. They brought back Radek Faksa. That's about it. They re-signed Jamie Benn, so Ben's back for another year. I like the signings they did. I think those were very good. Clearing out the cap space is good. I feel like the team's the same. In a way, it pretty much is. Like, it's the same roster, more or less.
They'll gain other assets at the deadline. It's not like it's, like, end of the world here.
Yeah, so I'm not too mad about it.
Honestly, I think Dallas getting rid of cap space, though, getting rid of Dumba's contract is huge. I think it's a B. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah. I mean, we're agreeing a lot, but I think it's just the right thing. Like, they're a low-end B team, in my opinion. So I totally agree with that. Now Detroit. Detroit made a couple of moves. They acquired John Gibson. That's the first big trade that they made, getting him from Anaheim in exchange for Mrazek. They moved off of Vladimir Tarasenko. They moved him to Minnesota for future considerations. They got rid of $4.75 in cap. So that's a good move there by Stevie Y. In terms of signings, they signed James Van Riemsdyk. They signed Jacob Bernard Docker, as you said. They signed Mason Appleton. They re-signed Patrick Kane. I don't believe they have any notable RFAs this year. We kind of forgot about that a little bit with some of these teams, but anyways. What do you think about
I think the only notable RFA was Johnny Burgers.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list right now. Yeah, it's about it. They lost Craig Smith, Tyler Mott. I'm sure there's a couple others. What do you think?
I think
that's a pretty good offseason, by all accounts.
Detroit also drafted Carter Bear, who I think is just... I'm so mad he's a Detroit Red Wing. I'm not going to lie. I'm so mad he's Detroit.
I love that.
Here's the thing. I've been pretty active on social media. Detroit fans, you're pissing me off.
Oh, okay.
Once again, I just want to air out my stuff. Missing the playoffs is not the same as getting out in the first round. That's it. That's all I want to say.
Jesus Christ.
Detroit, I feel like they had a decent offseason. I don't think any of those moves, other than John Gibson, moved the needle, though.
That's true. That's fair enough.
I'm willing to go with a low B here or a C.
I think it should be a B. Okay. Like, I think the Gibson thing is what they needed to improve on, and just moving off of Vladimir Tarasenko is a big big thing as well.
I would put
Wow.
them between Dallas and Carolina personally. That would be my.
Well, they did more than Dallas, so they should be higher than Dallas, just in my opinion.
Once again, I'm not a. You know, I said Detroit. I'm not going to believe anything that Stevie says until I see it.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah. Detroit, these moves should help their left side. Their left side defense is still weak. Their left side wingers are still weak. There's a lot to work on still. But I feel like Detroit. I don't know how much longer they got until shit hits the fan.
I don't know. I think with the goalie acquisition, I think things are going to get a lot better.
And Gibson did have a good year on a very bad Anaheim team.
Yeah, the blue line is certainly. It's kind of the same. I don't think it really changed that much. Bernard Docker is not going to move the needle a ton.
I mean, you got JBD. Yeah. You got on your second pairing, though.
I mean, maybe ASP comes in and is a full impact.
He's ready. I think he's got to spend a year in the A.
I think maybe he takes some time in the A and then comes up midway through. Maybe he makes the team out of camp. Who the hell knows? It wouldn't shock me if he makes it over whoever the hell they have there. Isn't Justin Hall still a Red Wing?
Yep.
After they said they were going to buy him out. Or maybe that was just our friends trolling us. Whatever. Anyways, Edmonton Oilers up next. They made a couple of moves. They traded away Evander Kane to the Vancouver Canucks, which just feels so weird. They also recently traded away Arvidsson. And then they also recently got Isaac Howard in exchange for Sam O'Reilly. The signings they made, they brought in Mangiapane, they brought in Curtis Lazar, they brought in Riley Stillman, re-signed Evan Bouchard, re-signed Kapanen, and Frederick as well. So I think...
I'm going to say this, but for the Pirates, they also lost Corey Perry. They lost Jeff Skinner. Yeah. I'm going to say this right now. I think Edmonton had a really, really good offseason.
Sorry. I think... thank you. I think...
I love the Howard move. I think Howard is going to be in that top 6. There's no doubt in my mind. He wouldn't have signed there if he wasn't going to get top 6 minutes. Or at least top 9 minutes, for sure. Mangiapane, I love that signing. Lazar's good depth. I honestly think the Oilers should be in A.
I agree. I think the only thing that I was shocked about is Bouchard getting 10.5, but I guess it just is.
I know why they did it, because they were afraid Carolina was going to oversheet him. But
that's the whole thing. Yeah, they didn't really have a choice.
I would have taken those picks. I would have because I think that's crazy that it wasn't even a big contract either. It was 4 years.
Yeah, so it's a bridge, which is kind of wild. But anyways, we'll have to see what happens there with the Oilers. I really do agree. I think they did have a good offseason. I'm excited to see how those guys are going to work out.
What sours me is they still did not address the goaltending.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Yeah, that
just popped in my mind.
That kind of changed my grade a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
Here's what we'll do. We'll keep them up there for now, and we're done the list. We'll adjust some things.
They're definitely not the best offseason, though.
I think they're a low A. I think they're a low A.
I even made a point. I said, the fact that they didn't address that at all is just ridiculous. I think it's been proven that they're not going to win with Stuart Skinner.
But the thing is, I think Detroit took their goaltender.
So you had plenty of time to go out and trade for him.
Yes.
And with what Detroit gave up was the price, Edmonton has that. Edmonton has more than that.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. So I just want to say that. What about Florida? Florida, I think honestly, the fact that they were able to keep everybody is honestly an A on its own. The only
just A. Let's move on.
I gotta go over.
They kept everybody. The only pieces they lost were Nate Schmidt, Nico Sturm. Even brought back Mackie Samoskevich.
Yeah, they even brought back Samoskevich. Now, they did lose some players, so let's not act like they were, the Angels here. And they also did make some signings that were a little bit weird. I was shocked at Jeff Petrie. I was like, what the hell is that? But it's league minimum, so I'm not too mad about it. And they've actually been able to fix guys before who have, had bad raps before him. Nate Schmidt was bought out by Winnipeg. came to Florida and now got like a $2 million deal at Utah. So wouldn't shock me if they turn his career around somehow, some way. But it's Jeff Petrie. It ain't nature. So
it's gotta be the warm weather. It's gotta be the warm weather. That's it.
I guess so. It's a league minimum deal. It's not like it's a big deal. They traded away Sourdiff for a second and a sixth. They got Tarasov, who I think is going to be a good backup. If he is the backup, yeah, I think so. They lost Vanacek as well. Oh my God, we're both sneezing. God bless you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have to cut that out. But yeah, I think that they definitely had an A. There's an A there, no question. They're better than
the fact that they got a second for Sourdiff is insane. Like
the fact that they got those guys back is just even more impressive to me.
Like I like Sourdiff was a good player for the Vancouver Giants, but like
I don't know.
Just good asset management. It's good asset management.
It is. It's a good. I think he was probably like their best prospect too. And when he was up in the NHL club, he wasn't terrible. I did some commentary of him. All right, the LA Kings. First off, I want to ask how's Dylan doing?
I've consoled him, but
yeah.
So Dylan is a Kings fan, and my buddy Drew, who I work with, is also a Kings fan. Like Drew had an ultimate crash out on public transit with me about these signings.
Oh my goodness!
Like, what is LA doing? What are they doing? Like,
Ken Hall effect.
Like Cody Ceci for that much money.
All right, let me go over them first before you go crazy. They traded Jordan Spence to Ottawa for a third and a sixth. I found that very weird. I was like, what the hell? Where did that come from? I thought it was to like give Brant Clark maybe more playing time. Then why the hell do you sign Cody Ceci and Brian Dumoulin to 4- and 3-year deals respectively, and combined cap hit of $8.5 million? What the fuck?
Yeah,
Anton Forsberg, backup goaltender, 2.25, got beaten out by a rookie this year for the backup role. Corey Perry actually might not be that bad of a signing, but it feels Corey weird.
Perry's the best out of the bunch.
And that's bad. That's horrible. That's horrendous. Joel Armia, 2 years, 2.5. Kuzmenko, 1 year, 4.3. That's not too bad. I thought Kuzmenko was all right for them.
Kuzmenko fits the system.
But you had $25 million in cap space, and the guys you acquired are all 33 plus. Sorry, 32 plus.
So you're telling me they used all that cap space
for
the guys on the wrong side of 30.
Yes.
And Kuzmenko. But
I can't. It's the worst offseason. And I said that on the pod. It's the worst.
The worst.
Honestly. The team is 1,000 times worse.
And I'm going to say
long term and short term.
Dylan said he's going to give Ken Holland a chance. That lasted about a day. Like, lasted a day. And, like, brother, retire. Like,
he retired, and then he's like, oh, no, I'm going to come back.
Be with your grandkids. Like,
yeah, he's like, I'm going to go ruin LA.
Here's the thing about this. Yes, Jordan Spence wanted more playing time. That's why he got traded. It's why I thought you thought, Brant Clark's going to get in the lineup now. Perfect. I want to put the players. Jim Hiller does not like young players. So, him getting all these 30-year-old veterans makes total sense in the eyes of Jim Hiller.
Oh, it does now.
And now, I don't know what happened to Brant Clark. They covered him very well, but they don't. If he doesn't get playing time early this season, expect there to be a media storm around that, though.
Oh, there was when Doughty came back. There was like talks of him possibly getting traded. Yeah. So like, I would not be shocked at all if that's the road they go down. I would not be shocked at all. So they're an F. There's no doubt about that. Anyways, Minnesota Wild. The Wild didn't do a ton. They didn't do anything really notable. The thing is, though, they have money now. They got money. They got some money in their bank that is going to be really beneficial. They traded away Frederick Gaudreau to Seattle for a fourth. They obviously, as well as that too, they traded away Chisholm for Prisky and a fourth. They acquired Vladimir Tarasenko, which I was like, all right, they must be doing Detroit a favor. They signed not a lot of notable players. Pitlick, Cal Peterson, God bless you. I'm so glad he's gone. Abe Kubel, Kierstead, and that's about it. Honestly, they didn't do a ton besides that. Just kind of an underwhelming not underwhelming, like an under the weather
I
off
expected
season.
more from Minnesota after they finally get that money out of the books. But I feel like they're waiting to pay Kaprizov, then they'll use that money.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think, to be honest, it's more or less a C, but they do have some money in the tank now. The only thing that I'm really wondering is Rossi.
Yeah, it's still not done, so that's why I'm debating low C, high D.
I mean, I just because of the fact it's not done.
Yeah, that. Well, I know RFAs take a while, but
there's plenty of other players there's plenty of other teams on this list that
I know. So this is why
have RFAs. Like Anaheim has Dostal, they still have to sign.
I still was going to arbitration though.
That's true, but I mean, so is Rossi.
But Bill Guerin's on. Is he?
Rossi, yes. Never mind. No, he's not. Sorry.
Bill Guerin's on record as saying, "I don't like you." Like, I don't know how.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll go with C.
I think
I will accept it.
I think low C is fine. So
I will accept it. Okay. All right. Montreal.
D. Moving on.
Did you say D? Moving on.
I said Z. The letter Z.
Oh. All right. Hang on. Let me pull up their moves real quick. In terms of trades, they actually did some pretty good work. They acquired Boldu in a 1-for-1 for Logan Mailou, which is kind of wild to me still. They acquired Noah Dobson for Emil Heineman and 2 first-round picks. They also, as well as that too, as it takes me forever to pull up their signings, they re-signed Jacob Dobes. They didn't really bring in anybody that was really notable, like Sammy Blais, Capo Kakinen. Yeah, they really didn't do a lot in terms of signings. The only thing that I have a qualm with is the Noah Dobson trade.
They got the big fish they wanted. They paid a premium to get the big fish. And they signed a premium to keep the big fish around. That's the thing for me. Do I feel like Noah Dobson was worth the 2 mid first? Yeah, sure. It's a weaker draft. I don't like the contract they signed to him though. And once again, you're taking away playing time from your Calder-winning defenseman, Lane Hudson.
I'm not really worried about that. I don't like the contract, to be honest with you. I'm not a fan of the contract. Just because of, it's for a guy of his caliber who just had, I feel like a down season, it just felt like an overpay. And, even the 2 firsts is a little bit I don't know about that. I think it was still a good offseason. They needed to make a big move for a big defenseman. I'm going with B. You might not agree with that. I think B.
I think it's B.
For them. You think it's C?
B.
B? Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, the audio is bad.
B is for Bozo. Put them in letter B.
Okay. Yeah. I just think Montreal.
I would put them above.
I think they did what they had to do.
I put them above.
There are some people who are saying they think they can miss the playoffs, though.
After this Dobson trade, the expectation for Montreal should be playoffs.
Oh, after making the playoffs last year, it should be. I don't know. I
would put Montreal a little bit higher on the scale there, but
what do you think?
Maybe right there, yeah.
Right in the middle?
Yeah.
All right. That's fine with me.
But the Boldu trade, you traded Logan Mailou, who, I'll be honest, was probably not going to reach potential in Montreal for Zach Boldu, who had 20 goals last year.
That's a really good asset there. Really good asset.
Boldu's defense is suspect, but other than that, it's a great trade.
Yeah, well, I mean, all forwards aren't going to be great offensively.
That's
so
true. That's true.
I'm not too.
But it's a good ad for depth. They need depth forwards, so.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Nashville. They weren't that active this time around, but they did make some trades. They acquired the Nicholas Hague in exchange for Lazone and Sissons. They retained some money on Sissons as well, by the way. So they are retaining a little bit on Colton Sissons. They signed Hague to a 4-year, $5.5 million contract, which I saw that and I'm like, yup, Barry Trotz. They signed Nick Perbix as well to a 2-year, $2.75, and that's about it. They didn't really do much else besides that. They did draft Brady Martin, which I thought was a little bit of a higher choice.
Reach.
Did they draft some? They drafted someone else.
It's Cam Reed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So I don't know.
I'm gonna be frank. I don't like Nashville's draft at all. Like, I think Nashville's draft.
They took a lot of risks.
They took a lot. It's high risk, high reward, though. Like,
that's true. You got a good point.
And we won't know that until the coming years, so I'm not going to judge him based off that. But Nick Hague trade, it's not a bad trade. It's the contract they gave him is a little high for the line.
Yeah, the contract they gave him is crazy.
But they needed.
Though I do have one.
Yeah, I like the perfect deal. They needed 2 defensemen, and they got 2 defensemen, so I'm not going to hate on them for that. I think Nashville should be a high C.
High C? Okay. One more thing about the draft. It feels like, though, if you're going to pick all high-risk, high-reward players, you should at least get somebody in there who, like, you're confident that was going to be good. And, like, Porter Martone or even Hagens would have been better options.
Some teams draft, like, they love the rush of taking a risk. But some teams just draft the safest player they can.
If they weren't in the stratosphere where they're heading into, like, a full-blown rebuild, then I would be like, yeah, maybe go with the risk. Why not? Try it. But
maybe they are heading to the rebuild, though.
Who the hell knows at this point? I'll stick with this team.
Nashville's direction, they just go in circles. Like, it just...
Honestly, yeah. I couldn't agree more. I think they're not the highest high C, though. I think Colorado was better than them.
That's fair. Yeah, no, I'll agree with that.
I'm not really a fan of what the Predators really did. I don't like the Hague contract. The Devils didn't do a lot, unless if it's escaping my mind. They definitely made some signings, though.
Connor Brown, Guinea Dadnov,
Dennis Cholulski. They signed Angus Crookshank. Cody Glass, they re-signed. They re-signed Jake Allen as well. Trades, they traded away Eric Halla for Hansel. And that's it. They didn't do anything really besides that. They acquired Thomas Borderlow, which will be interesting. But
New Jersey did a bunch of things where it's like, okay. I think they overpaid Connor Brown by quite a bit. Guinea Dadnov's a good contract, but once again, I'm still underwhelmed by the Devils.
Yeah, still a little bit underwhelmed. And I'm going low C here, honestly.
Yeah, low C. And once again, if Jack Hughes goes down, we know we've been there before. We know what happens.
Yeah, low C, in my opinion. Kind of leaning D.
I'll be honest. You know what? I'm okay with D.
Okay. Yeah. All right. New York Islanders. Islanders had one hell of an offseason. That just went down. So let's just hop right in. Starting off with drafting Matthew Schaefer first overall. That's the number one thing you got to start off with. Very just emotional pick. It was the right pick. I'm not saying it was a wrong pick because it was emotional, but very emotional drafting of him, but still a very good pick. They had a good draft generally too. I
think they had the best draft. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah. They got those picks for Noah Dobson. They re-signed Holmstrom. They re-signed Heineman. They brought in Jonathan Drouin. They brought in David Riddick. They re-signed Tony DeAngelo. They brought in Maxim Shabanov. In terms of other trades they made, nothing else. So just the Noah Dobson trade was the only notable thing.
Draft, also, like their draft, though, you said Schaefer. They also got Victor Eklund, Kachon Aitchison, Danil Prokhorov. Just outstanding work by Matthew Darsh. And if we were just doing draft alone, this is the best draft.
Oh, they had the best draft by a mile. And they have one of the better prospect pools now than they did previously.
Would you be opposed to putting the Islanders in low A, high B?
I thought they were a lock for A, to be honest with you. I think the draft alone, like, again, I know how we said the draft doesn't really have a big impact, but when you hit on basically all of your picks.
This was a franchise-altering draft for the New York Islanders.
Yes, this changes everything. And when you get the first overall pick, not only that, you got a guy in Eklund who dropped, and I think is going to be very good. You got Aitchison, who's going to be a big hitter and mean alongside Schaefer.
I'm so glad I don't have to deal with Aitchison in the division. I'm so glad.
Yeah, he was terrified he was going to go to like the Red Wings or something like that. He was absolutely horrified. But I honestly think that alone, I like the Shabanov signing, the Dobson trade. It looks very good. That impacts the draft as a whole. It's an A for me. It might be the best offseason of any team, to be honest with you.
Let's put him at number one.
Because it's a franchise-altering offseason, as you said. I really like how you put that. It's a franchise-altering offseason that they just went through. So I gotta agree with that.
Like, you look at, I want to tell you, like, this time last year, we were looking at the Islanders as like, this is going nowhere.
Literally, we thought they were. I mean, getting Cole Eiserman was good. I think Lamoriello getting Callum Ritchie as well was a good trade. But before the draft lottery, like, we just thought the same of them. They were going to get the 10th overall pick. They were going to be around the same next year, and I think they still will be. Like, I don't think like these signings or these picks or these trades are going to impact them right away. But again, like, we're going to look down the road when this team's a real contender. We're going to say, my God, that draft and that offseason changed everything.
Yeah, and like, I don't want to say like Dobbs had a bad year. I mean, they got him. I want to say this: depending on how Eklund and Aitchison pan out, which I expect them to pan out pretty well, I think it's a good trade.
I agree. So I do think it's a good trade. I think it's a good trade for both teams. I think it's going to be a win-win, but we'll see. All right, New York Rangers. Stop giving them ammo, damn it.
Giving the Rangers ammo. Why is that the Ranger?
So we're going to combine two trades here. They traded away Keandre Miller, Kreider, and a fourth in exchange for Scott Morrow, Kerry Terrance, a first, a second, and a third. Two of those being in next year's draft, one of them already being drafted. That is great trade management there by the Rangers just in general. The signings they made, they signed Trey Fix-Wolanski. They signed Taylor Radish, which I think is a good signing. They brought in Vladislav Gavrikov, 7x7, to kind of replace Miller. I think they had a very good draft, a very good offseason.
I think it is. I like the fact that Malcolm Spence is a Ranger. Like, just frightens me. Like,
that's too. I forgot about that.
Really,
he dropped a ton.
I was so shocked he didn't go in first round. But
it kind of makes me worried about him as a whole. But it also makes me kind of happy that we didn't take them.
Yeah, I always say, like, players who drop, usually it's like either they were overlooked because of their height, or they have attitude problems.
I always think of Joe Veleno. Joe Veleno's always one because he never got to what he was, and he dropped so far in that 2018 draft.
Yep.
And now he's not even in the NHL, I don't think. I think he might be. He's just not signed.
Going to Russia.
Wouldn't surprise me. There's a lot of players going to Russia now.
Rangers, the Gavrikov deal, I think I see the vision. I think it's
a good short-term deal. I don't think it's going to be good at the end of it.
Short-term, great. Long-term, young. But the Rangers should be in B, in my eyes.
I think short-term is what they're more worried about. I don't think Drury gives a shit about what the team is in 7 years or 5 years or whatever. I agree they're at B. Would you say they had a better offseason than Carolina? I think they won the trade, so I would say.
Okay, they won fine, that's fair.
If we're gonna criticize Carolina for it, we got to kind of put the Rangers ahead of them. So, all right, your Ottawa Senators. Let's go through their moves real quick. I know you can name them off the top of your head, but let me do it because I've been doing it all episode. In terms of trades, they obviously went out. They got Jordan Spence for a third and a sixth. Ottawa doesn't really need those picks anyways, to be honest with you. You agree?
Yeah.
They don't really need those picks anyways. And then in terms of signings that they made, they brought in Hayden Hodgson. They brought in Hunter Shepard, which I like, as somebody who has gotten heartbroken by the Bears every year. They brought in Arthur Kaliev, Lars Eller, Oli Leaksell. They re-signed Cousins, Merolainen, and Claude Giroux, and Zetterlund as well. They drafted. Why am I blanking? Oh, they drafted Hensler. It still feels so weird that Hensler's a Senator. But anyways,
I know.
LeBlanc, how are you feeling right now about this offseason?
Listen, we didn't need to tinker. We only need to tinker the roster. We didn't have to go out and get the big name. We didn't have to go out and refix the roster like every other year we've done this.
Yep.
Like every offseason was like, we need to fix everything. We need to fix the goaltending, the defense, and the forward core. And I was like, no, we can just tinker around. Lars Eller, great for our fourth line center spot. I'm fine with that. Bring in a guy like Arthur Kelly, a guy who I'll be honest, we almost played him off waivers this past season, but the Raiders got him first.
Yeah.
And then Hunter Shepard's gonna be good for AHL depth. I like that. I like a lot of what we did. I feel like I'd say we're probably a better team. I'm not by a whole lot, but I think we're more defensively sound now down the middle. I like bringing back Claude Giroux on a 1 year, $2 million deal. I think Ottawa, it wasn't flashy, it wasn't in your face, but I think it's a good offseason. I think it should be high C, low B.
I was going to do low B. That's what I was leaning towards. I think I like the moves they made. I had no qualms with the moves that they made, to be honest with you. So I got to agree. I think they're a B, to be honest. I think they're above Dallas.
Yeah,
because they did more than Dallas. But
yeah,
I think they're still
getting Hensler at 23. I'll be honest. When they drafted Hensler, we were on the we stopped the stream, but you saw my reaction. I was shocked because I didn't expect us to go with a guy like Logan Hensler.
You didn't really know how to feel. You weren't in rage.
Yeah,
because because first of all, you weren't picking at 7th overall again and losing your mind over that. But yeah, I mean, again, just I think he's gonna be a good ad. I think
but
it doesn't move out.
Our right side for the future is pretty set with Jakubchuk and Hensler. So
yeah, so looking good. All right, Philadelphia Flyers. They brought in Trevor Zegras for Ryan Poehling. They also made no trades besides that. They brought in Dan Vladar, Lane Peterson, Christian Dvorak, Noah Juleson. They re-signed guys like Noah Cates and Cam York as well. So a couple things I got to say here because you guys know I'm the Flyers fan. I like Vladar. I think people are hating on it because it's another mid goalie to the Flyers. I still think they want to give Urson a real chance. I think they believe in Urson, and I do as well. In front of a terrible blue line like it is, and Urson proved last season, not this past year, the season before that he can be a good goaltender as long as he's not getting run down to the ground. And goalies are weird. This year, Urson could have been shit. Next year, he could be good. I have absolutely no idea, but I still have faith in Urson, in my opinion. I think in terms of what they did in the draft, I've said it so many times, and I said it with LeBlanc. I am just so worried about them putting all their cards in the Jet Luchenko basket, and I just don't know if Jack Nesbitt's going to be all that either. I'm so worried about it. Anyways, let me finish all the offseason stuff here, and then I'll let you talk. Dvorak, I didn't even realize this. He's coming back with Rick Tocchet, who we had in Arizona. I don't know why I didn't connect those two in my head, but I think everybody's so hell-bent on the 5.4. It's a 1-year contract. It's a 1-year deal. We're acting like we signed this guy for 4 seasons. We're acting like we put him on a Nick Delorier deal. I'm not worried about it. If he doesn't work out, he doesn't work out. If he's good, bring him back. He's 29. It's not he's 35 and you're paying him 5.4. Again, maybe he wasn't that good in Montreal. Maybe Montreal was just bad. And maybe he was playing 4 flat minutes in Montreal as well.
At the end of it, yeah, he was. So
I don't. We can get into that. Montreal gave up a first-round pick for him, and he turned out to be terrible. Anyways, I think again, he's going back to Rick Tocchet, a system and a player who he was very good under. He was good under him in Arizona. I like it. And Lane Peterson, it feels great because me and Lane Peterson. I remember when I was a young kid in middle school. I can go find the DM right now and probably show it on the podcast when I edit this. But after Lane Peterson scored his first goal with Arizona, I DM'd him and was "Congrats, bro, on your next goal or on your first NHL goal." And he messaged me back and said thank you, and now he's back on my favorite team. I can't believe it. So it's pretty cool story, to be honest with you. I'm definitely gonna have to try and meet him when he's in Lehigh Valley, especially now that I'm reporting on teams and shit. But yeah, I overall think like it was a good offseason for Philadelphia. I didn't even talk about Trevor Zegras. Zegras has really high upside. Again, it's like Dvorak. If all of this doesn't work out, we still have assets next year and the year after that, and we can trade players. So I'm feeling good. I'm liking Tocchet. I just hope Zegras works out, and I'm very worried about the center depth as a whole. I think this team is. I hope if they don't. I really hope, and I know I'm going all over the place. I really hope that they're just praying for Gavin McKenna to get first get first overall. So, all right, what do you think about Philadelphia's offseason?
I want to talk about Philadelphia's draft real quick. Outside of the Jack Nesbitt fiasco, I think Philadelphia had a really good draft. They brought in guys like Carter Amico, Jack Murtaugh, Shane Van Sage. Even got guys like Matthew Gard in like the second round, and Max Westgard. Well, they're all pretty high-value picks.
Big fan of their draft. The Nesbitt pick, for me, I think there is a chance for that to be a good pick.
I'm not saying it's not.
But it feels like the 2025 reincarnation of Jet Luchenko. I'm just being dead honest.
Yeah, I don't know why every time I do these draft streams, like you have one player you want so bad, and then you end up just not getting him, or like he goes to pick before you.
Sam Dickinson and James Hagen's always get away. Next year, I'm going to want McKenna, and then we don't get first overall. I'm going to put it on my head. Yeah.
But Philadelphia, I look at Philadelphia like this. Philadelphia isn't in a position where they're going to be contenders next year. They're in a position where it's like they want to get better, but they want the young guys to also take a step forward. And they want Tocchet to enable a winning culture into these guys. And Tocchet did it in Vancouver very well. I could see Philadelphia being not in the wildcard race, but on like the tail end of the wildcard race. Where like they're not bad, but they're not like horrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I think they're going to be better. I think people aren't ready to realize that. I'm liking Michkov. Martone at 6 is just great. I wanted Hagens, but it's going to be great with him anyways, with Martone anyways.
Really want to see Zegras and Michkov on a line together.
They're like a draft pick or two away, a high draft pick or two away from a really fucking good hockey team.
And then Martone shouldn't be over this year. Martone will probably be in college somewhere by the time season's right. But like, I love the Martone pick. Martone, Zegras, Michkov as a future line sounds deadly.
It does. So I totally agree. All right. Pittsburgh Penguins are up next. Oh, I didn't even do the grade. I'll give it a B.
It's going to keep him off the board.
I'll give it a B. F. I don't care. Actually, no, A. No, they're like a B for me. They're like right here.
Yeah, that's fine. Put it back.
Yeah?
No, fine. We'll keep it there.
Fine. I'll never beat the Penguin hater allegation or the Cab hater allegations. All right, Pittsburgh Penguins up next. The Penguins, they did a lot. So starting out with the trades, they acquired Matt Dumba in exchange for Kalyanachuk. They got a second-round pick there as well. They dealt away Nedeljkovic for a third. They traded away Timmins and Beliveau for Clifton and a second. They also drafted Ben Kindle, Bill Zonin, and somebody else who is escaping my mind right now. Right? Or was it just those two?
Kindle and Zonin went in the first round. I think that's all they got, though.
Hang on. I'll have to go take a look again. They signed Kindle to an ELC. They brought in Harvey Pennard, Mantha, Caleb Jones, Justin Brazo, Thomasine. Oh, Thomasine was already there. And then Connor Dewar. Or Dewar was already there.
Dumba?
They brought in Dumba as well, yes. Let me go. I swear they picked somebody else. So just give me a moment.
They got someone in a trade. I'm trying to remember who it is.
Yeah, they definitely got somebody else. I'm trying to think of
who. Somewhere I mentioned. Oh, we got Clifton.
Yeah, they got Clifton, Kindle, Zonin, and Horkoff. They got Horkoff as well in the draft.
Yes, Horkoff, which
that's what I was forgetting.
Be honest, Pittsburgh's draft, especially in the first round,
a lot of controversial picks.
A lot of picks where, I'll be honest, Pittsburgh's heading into a rebuild. I don't mind that. I don't mind the reaches here. Unlike Nashville, who Nashville expects they'll be better next year. Pittsburgh, I think, and Pittsburgh has even told guys like Mongan, like, yeah, we're not re-signing you.
Yeah, so they're expecting to be bad in the next couple of years and try and go for that first overall pick. Seeing that thing about Gavin McKenna, I will die. I will die. I'll literally die. It'll be the worst. It'll be worse than 2025's lottery if that happens. I will die. But yeah, I don't like their draft. They got
assets for picking up bad contracts, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, it's always a good thing. I think they're a high C for me. Yeah, they didn't do a ton to improve the roster. They didn't really need to. I don't like they needed to.
Yeah, I'm going to give you that. I would put them probably before Nashville. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Between Colorado and Nashville is what I was going with. All right, San Jose up next, pulling up the Sharks. They made some moves, some good moves at that. Starting off with, they got Ryan Reeves for Henry through, and that'll be fun. Nedeljkovic for a third, as I mentioned. And then in terms of signings, they re-signed William Eklund as well to a new contract, so that's obviously good. I like that contract for Eklund. I think it's a 3-year. Just pulling up my thing here. It's a 3-year, 5.6. It's good for the Sharks. It gives them a team-friendly deal for a little bit.
Yep.
It also begins the following year too, so it's like 4 years from now when it'll be over. They signed Jeff Skinner, 1 year, $3 million. Dmitry Orlov, 2 years, 6.5. That's about it in terms of the notable guys. John Klingberg, 1 year, $4 million, and then Kurashev, 1.2, and then Gaudette, 2.2 as well. And they also brought in Michael Misa and Ravensburg into contracts too.
Still, like Ravensburg pick still gives me like what I don't know. I get you want 2 elite goaltenders, but the Ravensburg pick still like boggles my mind.
I saw it and I was like, all right, okay, go for it. I mean, it takes a couple of years for goalies to develop. I guess they want a backup plan for Askarov.
I guess so, because she's like Askarov is like, I want my playing time now.
Well, he's gonna get it. He's gonna be the starter unless they put Nedeljkovic over him.
And they got Nedeljkovic. So what are we doing?
You're acting like Ravensburg is going to be in the NHL tomorrow.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that like you already have Askarov. I mean, it's not. You can never have enough goalies. I always say that. I know that, but yeah, I think San Jose had a very good draft. I think they had. I like the signings they have. Skinner's going to be a good deadline pickup for somebody.
Yeah, honestly. Going back to Edmonton, because I was just thinking about that. You know how Jeff Jackson made those moves and we love them?
Mm-hmm.
Look at how they turned out this year. Arvidsson and Skinner are gone within a year. After we said they could be 40 goal scorers. Man.
Oh my God, we did say that. Shit. I actually, Skinner on McDavid's wing could score 40.
You weren't the only one, though. It's okay. All right, going back to the Sharks. I think they're a low-end B team, high-end C.
I would put them probably in front of Detroit.
Yeah, they're like right in there. I think they made the team look a lot better on paper. They're still going to be the worst team in the NHL probably next year, or bottom 3 for sure. They'll be fun, especially if Misa comes out right away. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, I want to go see when the Sharks come to Ottawa. I want to go see that game this year. I didn't get to do last year.
I do as well. I want to see all these.
Like when I get home from work some nights, like the only game that's on is like a Sharks game, and I'll just put it on, and like they're like it's not the games aren't good, but they're fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I did a couple of streams this year with San Jose, just like watching Eklund and Celebrini and Toffoli, just that line connect was so much fun. So I definitely gotta do that more. Seattle up next here now on the list.
Listen.
The Kraken did Kraken things. First of all, LeBlanc, what do they do in the draft?
They didn't draft a defenseman in the first round. In the first round.
In the first round, they did draft the defenseman with that very next pick.
I do like Blake Fiddler picks, but Seattle is collecting mid forwards like they're Infinity Stones. Like I'm not.
You are absolutely right. They got Mason Marchment in a trade for a fourth from Dallas. They got Frederick Gaudreau in a trade from Minnesota. They traded away Burakovsky for Velena, who they bought out. I think that's actually a good trade. Burakovsky clearing some cap.
Signed Lindgren.
Signed Ryan Lindgren. They signed Matt Murray. The Matt Murray.
Like 2-time Stanley Cup champion Matt Murray.
Yes, they drafted Jake O'Brien with that first round pick. That's about it. You look at that team; it's still very mid.
Like I always say this, like I'm so hard on Seattle because I really do like Seattle.
I'm a fan of what they're building, like in terms of just like the young players, but the team they have currently
is bad. It's a bad
team. The team in the short term is bad, and I'm serious. I'm seriously getting worried about Matty Beniers. Like I'm scared. He's not going to be what he was projected.
His rookie year was fantastic.
Defensively, he's become a much more sound player. But without the offense, why did he get picked second overall?
Yeah. Looking at the guy who went after McTavish is looking like a better player right now.
Even fourth overall. Who was fourth overall in that draft?
Is that Luke Hughes?
Yeah, Luke Hughes is Luke Hughes. Yeah.
I have opinions, but we're not going to talk about that right now.
Yeah, we won't talk about those. Not right now. Not right now.
Seattle, like I don't like the Lindgren signing. Lindgren was not great for New York or for Colorado, to be frank.
D.
I like their draft though. That's the thing. Like, so I go high D.
Their draft doesn't impact everything.
I know. That's why I think they had a better offseason than New Jersey though.
Yeah, they're below the Devils for sure. Yeah, not a fan of what they did besides the draft. St. Louis. And by the way, if you want to go look back at the draft, our reaction to them not drafting a defenseman is pretty damn funny. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, Merca was right there.
Yeah, there was more than just Merca. Aitchison, Smith was right there too.
Like all the defensemen were there.
Exactly. Disappointed.
But here's the thing. For me, I just said one more time about Seattle. If all their forward prospects develop like we think they're going to be a wickedly offensive team in a couple years.
With no defense. I agree.
No defense. They're going to be the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, sounds about right. Zach Bolduc. St. Louis traded away Zach Bolduc from Logan Mailloux. That's what they did in the trade department this offseason. In terms of signings, they signed Bukestad. They re-signed Hofer. They signed Zarenko. They brought in Pia Suter, which the fact that Pia Suter was getting hype shows you how mid the free agent class was.
He had 30 goals, though.
He did have 30. He had 30 goals?
Yeah.
That's not wild. But anyways, St. Louis didn't move the needle a ton. However, I don't think they had a bad offseason. They were in Pittsburgh territory.
I want to say, I think they had a better offseason than Colorado. I'm going to be frank here.
I think they did. I think the draft, I like Carbonneau. Carbonneau's going to be exciting.
Carbonneau is a steal. I love Justin Carbonneau. I really want to, if he was there at 21, I want to take him so bad.
He opted to go to the Q for another year, which is fine. I expected that. Just like what they're building, the younger players they have in the system, the core as a whole, it's looking good. So I'm excited. I'll go with the C, though. I agree.
Breaking news, Quebecer loves Quebec. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So, I don't know. All right, Tampa Bay is up next on the list. Tampa did not do a lot. They traded Howard for Sam O'Reilly. They did nothing else in the trade department. In terms of signings, I can't really think of anything they did off the top of my head. They brought in Jacob Pelletier, which will be good. I like Pelletier. It looks they couldn't keep him around in Philadelphia. They got Gage Gonzalez on a contract, which I was really hoping he'd come to Philly if that wasn't the case. Pontus Holmberg as well, which just feels really weird. And that's it. They didn't do a lot.
Jacob
I'm
Pelche signing is such a value signing because it's league minimum for 3 years.
It's a very good deal. So I'm a fan of that. They're in C territory, though, for me.
Yeah, I think I would put them below Pittsburgh.
No, they're above Pittsburgh.
You think so?
Pittsburgh really didn't do a lot. All they did was just get Cap.
But Pittsburgh did more. Pittsburgh did more to help themselves, though. They lost Howard for Samuel Riley, who's not a guarantee to be anything.
You know what? Okay, I forgot O'Reilly. I'll sit with that. I'll go with a C. Toronto. Toronto definitely they didn't really do much this offseason.
I have controversial opinions on Toronto.
All right, let me say who they got and what they did first. So first and foremost in the trade department, they obviously traded Mitch Marner for Nicholas Waugh, 1-for-1 sign and trade. They got Matthias Micheli from Utah in exchange for a third. They got somebody else. They traded Ryan Reeves for Henry Thrun in a 1-for-1 deal literally last night. Signings that they made, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but let me go take a look. They signed Vinny Lettieri, Travis Boyd, Benoit Oliver Graux, and that's it. They re-signed Matthew Nyes and John Tavares, though, which is what they needed to do, to be honest.
So, for me, I think the Tavares contract's a steal. The Nyes contract is really good. You got cap space for trading away Reeves, and who else did they trade away?
Marner?
Yeah. Oh, and not Marner. You brought in Nick Waugh, who's a good 2 to 3C. And then you bring in Micheli, who needed a change of scenery. That could be a very good pickup for Toronto. Losing Marner sucks. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not going to... You know, Toronto fans are like, he's a bum anyway. We don't need him. No, he's an elite player. I haven't ever seen a player who played there so long, prepared so long, like, he's shit. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I think Brad Treliving made the right moves. I
do. I agree.
Is Toronto going to win the Atlantic next year? I want to lean towards no.
No. They win the Atlantic.
Yeah.
They're going to be worse.
Like, they didn't have a bad offseason. Yeah, but other than losing Marner, if you take out losing Marner, like, it's a pretty good offseason. But they lost Marner, so I had to give points there. I think it's a high B.
I agree. So, I thought you were going to go down such a negative road with Toronto. Because you always do. You always try and hate on Toronto. I'm going to say this with Marner, and we're going to leave it at this. I know we're going to talk about it later on, but we're going to leave it at this for now, just for this episode. People are going to look back in 20 to 30 years at that Toronto team and be like, how the hell did they not win a cup with that core?
How the hell did they not get to a conference finals?
That too. It's insane. Who they got back, there's some risk to it. Micheli's a risk. As a Utah fan, it's a risk. Just being blunt, which I just found out this is out of order. Anyways, I think they did have a good offseason, though, by all accounts. There's risk, but I think they had a good offseason by all accounts. It's a B for me. You could argue low A, not going to lie, but I'm going to go B, just because I can't. I can't
fathom them in low A.
After losing Marner, I just can't do it for literally nothing too. At that, so not nothing, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
The Utah Mammoth. First off, they got the new name, which puts them at A right away. I really like what Utah did.
Same.
And that might just be my bias in me, but I really like what Utah did. They brought in Vitek Vanacek. They brought in Nate Schmidt on contracts. They brought in Brandon Tanev, Scott Perunovich as well. They got J.J. Paterka for Doan and Kesselring. Not a lot of assets there. They traded Matthias Micheli, who, when Paterka was traded, I really thought that it confirmed that Micheli was going to get dealt within a matter of days. So I wasn't shocked about that. They run out, drafted Caleb Denoyer with that pick. I love what they did. So, Mammoth, I'm leaning like high B range.
I'm going to be honest. It's A. It's A in my
Really?
I really love what they did.
Okay. I'm not going to say no to that. I'm not going to say no to that at all because I was thinking A, but I felt like I was being a little bit too biased.
No, I think like a low A because like they did everything perfectly. Like they drafted the right player. I know we had to talk about Dana being a project, but if for Utah, if he works out,
who gives a shit? They weren't even projected to be 4th overall. They were like ranked 13th.
I know, but if
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah, if Denoye pans out, it's a great pickup.
Yeah.
You bring up Paterka for I don't want to say nothing, but it's a very minimalistic package.
It is nothing. It is nothing because who they have coming in to fill in those spots, like Brandon Tanev will replace Josh Doan, Nate Schmidt will replace Kesselring, and even that too, you got Simashev and Boot coming over. So that's the other thing that people are forgetting. They got that done too.
Yeah. No, Nate.
I thought I was being a little bit too biased.
I love the Nate Schmidt deal. But I think Brandon Tanev should be a perfect 4th line winger on Utah. I think Utah hit it out of the park in their first like a real off season.
Yeah, I love what they did. So I won't say no to an A if you think it's an A. Next up, then we got Vancouver as we move into the final 4 teams. The Canucks went out and got Evander Kane, which good luck with that with the locker room. They will never be the bad locker room allegations. Never. Signings, they re-signed Brock Besser. That's about it. They brought in Joseph. They re-signed Demko and Garland, and that's it.
I'm so surprised they're running it back.
I am a little bit too.
Like, when I saw Besser went back, I'm like, excuse me?
I'm wondering what I'm intrigued. Who's their coach again? Adam Foote.
Known hard ass, Adam Foote.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. I don't think they had a bad offseason, though. They didn't do anything to make the team worse. It's about the same.
Here's my thing. You didn't make anything to make the team better either. You're running back the same exact roster last year, minus Pius Suter, minus Noah Juleson,
and JT Miller for a full season.
I don't see how Evander Kane is not moving the needle. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't think Vancouver had a good offseason. I'd like them to bring back Besser on that deal. I want to say it's probably a low B, high C.
Yeah, I wasn't even really going to do that much. I was going to go like a C.
Yeah,
I wasn't even going to.
Yeah, we'll go C. I think C is perfect.
Yeah.
But our stance on the Canucks, we've had so many rants on them. Them and the Rangers are like the biggest. The podcast's biggest ops go Vancouver, the Rangers, and the Kraken drafting a defenseman. That's the.
Well, we were talking about them a ton throughout this year.
Yeah, I really hope for Vancouver's sake it's not like this next year, where there's not like. If it's this circus again, we're gonna have a lot to talk about. I'll just say that.
See, my thing with Vancouver is if it's this circus again, I'll be very upset. My thing is though, like, there are a couple of things like that could change next year that could make them turn this around. Like, it's still possible they turn this around if Demko is healthy, which it'll make things controversial with Lankinen first and foremost. I think maybe they can turn it around. If Quinn Hughes stays healthy and plays a full season, I think that could turn it around. If they find a way to fix the locker room chemistry, I think they can turn it around. But that's been a problem since before, like the end of last year. That's been a problem for you.
Here's my thing. I want every Canadian team that's not Montreal, Toronto to do well. So,
biggest thing is Pettersson. We'll see what Pettersson does. That's the biggest one.
If he's not going to go back to form, that's a big problem.
Yeah, it's got to happen this year. Yeah, like, it's big.
Moving on, we got 3 more teams to go.
Vegas went out. They made that trade with Nashville, trading away Haig for Sissons, and I forget who the guy was. Sorry, I'm looking at the other screen. Lazone. And then they also got Marner. Not a big deal, honestly. Marner, top scorer in the NHL for Nicholas Waugh. Signings, they did nothing. They signed
Marner. That was their signing.
They signed Marner. So, like, I think by default, they got to go an A, right?
Got to be an A, yeah. I would put them probably I would put them above Edmonton too.
Yeah, they're like right there for me, honestly.
Yeah.
Just getting Marner, it makes the team like they were already a cup contender, but it makes them like a tier one.
Vegas is favorite to come out of the West next year. There's no way they're not the favorite next year.
Yeah, them and the Oilers it's gonna be make for a fun series.
Battle of Aiden Hill versus Stuart Skinner, can't wait.
The only thing is though is like you gotta wonder if Marner's playoff numbers are just gonna change now that it's not with Toronto. That's the only thing you gotta wonder about.
Every player that leaves Toronto eventually wins a cup. That's
I wouldn't be shocked at the slightest if that's what happens. If Marner all of a sudden lights up the playoffs next year and wins the Conn Smythe, it will be so funny. And Toronto losing the round one again, it'd be so funny.
I cannot wait for Marner's return.
No, I'm streaming that game.
Yeah,
that'll be fun. Washington is up next on the list. The Capitals didn't do a lot. They lost more than what they got. I like Lyndon Lakovic. They re-signed Anthony Beauvillier as well. They acquired Justin Sourdith for a second and a sixth. Still weird. They also got Declan Chisholm, which isn't too bad, for a sixth. Just a C, honestly. They didn't do anything that was crazy.
I'll be honest, they didn't do much of anything. They traded a second for a guy who's going to be made in the AHL next year.
Yeah, it's a C, honestly. I'm not terribly.
I'll be honest, I put them below Calgary.
Really? Okay. I didn't have that high of expectations for them though. Like I wasn't like
I expected them to do something though. They were in on Ehlers though. They were the runner for Ehlers.
They were looking at Ehlers, so it's valid enough. And then last but not least, the Winnipeg Jets, who didn't do a ton either this offseason. They brought in some guys notably in terms of signings, trades they didn't do a lot. They signed Sasha Boumediene.
I like that pick. So
they brought in Gustav Nyquist, Philip DiGiuseppe, Kale Klog, Tanner Pearson, Jonathan Toews as well. I forgot about that.
At least they're signing people now, though.
Yeah, it's true. Apart from that, they didn't do a ton. Just like besides that,
they lost Ehlers. They got to pay Connor next year. I don't think any of these moves like replace Ehlers. Like Nyquist is a good depth piece. Pearson will be a good depth piece. I want to say it's a C.
It is a C. I am upset about losing Ehlers, but I'm not too upset about it.
Yeah,
like it's not. It is a big deal, but like I think they have a chance to still be a good team next year. Like it's not like it changes everything. Like it. I'm more worried about Toronto with Marner than I am about Ehlers or Winnipeg.
Yeah, like Winnipeg, like it'll give younger guys more playing time, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, they got some like I'm fond of their prospect pool. I think it's more underrated than some of the other ones out there.
I agree.
All right, it took us an hour and a half, but that's the tier list. LeBlanc, what are you thinking?
Do you want to move Edmonton down? Yes or no?
I'm okay with where they are. Just looking at this now.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think we're good. Chicago. Chicago's fine.
I mean, you could flaunt around the teams in C tier. We kind of have them all over the place, but I think everything's kind of valid. The Bruins and the Kings, worst off seasons. The Islanders, the Panthers, the Knights, the Oilers, and the Mammoth with the best off seasons. I'm just gonna move this.
Yeah, I put Utah above Edmonton. It's gonna be weird saying Mammoth next year though, because I'm so used to saying just Utah.
I'll still say Utah. It doesn't really matter. You know what the team is. But, is there anything additional you want to talk about here, or shall we wrap?
Gavin McKenna.
Gavin McKenna committed to Penn State University.
Oh, I wore the wrong shirt.
Ew! I wore the wrong one, too. I am beyond happy that Gavin... I can't believe it. I can't believe it. You guys know I'm from Pennsylvania. I rooted for Penn State. Never been that big into college hockey. That's going to change. That is going to change. That is going to change now. I was never really into it because Penn State was never really like contending. Like, yeah, they were good, kind of.
Their
like
their hockey program is relatively new too.
Yeah, they've only been around for like 20 years, so it really hasn't been that long enough to like really develop. But getting like, if you told me when they lost in the Frozen Four that they would be getting Gavin McKenna, then I don't think I would have believed you. Like Luke Misa, I thought was like, I was like, wow, I was like, awesome.
Luke Misa, oh my god!
I was like hearing Porter Martone rumors too. I'm like, if we got Martone, that's awesome. But the McKenna stuff, I'm blown away. He's deciding to come to Pennsylvania to play hockey. You know who else came to Pennsylvania to play hockey?
Sidney Crosby.
That didn't go to the NHL.
Oh.
Or no. That plays for a team that isn't in PA right now in the NHL. I'll give you a hint. Played for them in juniors.
Sorry. McDavid? Yes.
Erie, Pennsylvania, baby. I'm not saying that McKenna will be McDavid, but man.
You're stretching it so far. It's like
I know. I was being dramatic. But I'm very excited. For those who follow the channel and stuff, there will be content on it. There will be. I'm already looking at tickets for the first game where he's back in Penn State. I'm looking at them. I'm going to try and get them. I've been looking literally every day. Like I've been refreshing every single day, pulling up the tickets to try and get them. So I will be attending that first game, 100%.
I just want to say one thing, Tim. What happened? I thought you were gonna get Gavin McKenna.
Aw, don't do that to Tim, because I think Tim still he's a little butthurt, but I think he's still like very. He's still, I think, rooting for. He's still okay with.
He's happy he got Lindstrom and he wants Martone, so that's what's important.
He's happy that he got. He's happy that he at least went to Penn State and not like Michigan. That's a definite.
Yeah, no, I think he's happy.
He may not say it right now, but there's no denying it. He's happy about that. So, anyways, all right. That is it for this episode of the MVP. I don't got much else. It's an hour and 36 minutes, a long episode. But we had to do this. From now on, we're going to be making more consistent content for sure. Definitely some more stuff coming. I think LeBlanc might be away next weekend, so maybe we'll record beforehand. Funny thing, I was actually going to see LeBlanc.
I'm back Sunday night. We can record Sunday night probably.
Okay. Sounds good to me. So kind of just the same way we'll do things. Yeah. And we'll just run probably one episode a week throughout the off season. When we get to the divisional previews and stuff, we'll obviously get into that.
Have
but
some off-season Jeopardy though, in trivia.
We could do that. We could do that as well. But pretty much just going to be kind of the same thing we did last year. Just episodes every week, all that good stuff. All right, that concludes this episode of the MVP. LeBlanc, any final thoughts?
Logan Henderson, an Ottawa Senator. That's crazy.
Porter Martone is
also crazy. There is now 5 Ottawa Senator prospects on Wisconsin.
That's wild. Wisconsin Senators. All right. Thank you all. Jesus. Thank you all so much for watching. I got a long episode here to edit. I will see you guys in the next episode.
Ciao.
I just do what I do. See me? I just do what I do. Man, I just do what I do. To know about you, I just do what I do. Check. That's the intro. See that? Yeah. I just do what I do. See me? I just do what I do. Yo, check. Let me flip this script. I feel privileged for all who can witness this. I am close to divine. Know the moment is mine, need no omen or sign. Providing a back sound to all the squares that ask around. Be getting it. My skills pay me. Trying to get a million, baby, with an adopted flow that God gave me. Me now. Tell whoever runners that they spot is temporary till I take it, it's mine. I'm selfish. Yo, will tell Miss I'm on my wealth tip. So when we cash out soon, I'm just investing. Hey, no yes men. I've been a legend since before mom and dad had me and was best friends. I chew through comp, don't test them. I chew on tracks, cause after that I bless them. I just do what I do. You see me? I just do what I do. I just do what I do. I don't know about you, I just do what I do. Check. I just do what I do. See me? I just do what I do.